Greetings and welcome to Central TV. My name is Mandi Satinda and we are outside the MTN house where the Free State Legislature has invited us for a pre-Sopa media briefing. Now we are very much interested in finding out who will be delivering the State of the Province address, and as we are here, we are about to find out just exactly that. We invite you to follow us, relax and listen to what is about to happen.
Welcome to our media briefing, the pre-SOPA media briefing, which we normally host as the Free State Legislature to give guidance and clarity to the media as our strategic stakeholder before the hosting of the State of the Province address by the Premier of the province. My name is Life Mukoni. I'm the spokesperson at the Free State Legislature. Our program is very brief, colleagues. So part of it is the opening, which I am currently doing, and then we will get to the message by the MTN executive, Mr. Felix Mukwena. Without any waste of time, I'll give to Mr. Mukwena to...
Thank you very much, Ntate Mkoni. And greetings to the friends and family, because that's really how I'd like to address you members of the Fourth Estate today. You know, I think to what Ntate Mkoni alluded to, when we start getting closer to events and occasions such as either the State of the Nation address, the State of the Province address, or pretty much anything that public sector would like to send out a message to the public. Ourselves at MTN, we've decided now for a good couple of years that we do not want to be left behind. I think you will agree with me, and you possibly cover it every day, whether it is the headline article or whatever it may be. But this phrase and this term, public-private partnerships, gets thrown around so loosely. And yet, the practicality thereof is never seen, nor felt, nor observed in the communities that it's supposed to serve. So when the Office of the Premier, together with the Free State Legislature, embarked on the planning of the SOPA for 2023, we were the first ones as MTN to put our hand up and say, we would like to be part of this, what the Premier and the address will be covering come the date next week. And really at the heart thereof is, I think, once again showing how true we would like to remain to our word, that it's not all about business transactions. You would have seen it either with colleagues or peers of yours that might have covered the story that MTN SA is one of the service providers that is servicing government in terms of its mobile as well as ICT solutions. And I suppose it would have been an easy decision for us to say, we're giving you the service as MTN, you are paying us as private sector, we have got a contract for X number of years and months, and the conversation ends there. But we are not that type of an organization. We are certainly not that type of a group as MTN Group. So in really bringing it closer to home, it is incumbent on us as well that le rona re le mona Freistata, we need to show that we are a company that is on the ground. So when the State of the Province address gets read, and there are certain fundamental key focus areas that the province, the Premier, the executives would like to concentrate on, we then need to look internally, how can we best assist to accelerate in achieving those objectives. And I think these are some of the messages of positivity that we really request, that as we not only forge partnerships with public sector, but hopefully forge partnerships with yourselves as well, as the members of the Fourth Estate, that those are the type of messages that our communities should read about, should listen to, should see on a daily basis. We do not want to be the ones on each and every day going out there promoting hore data ya rona ke 20 ranta, data ya competition ke 25 ranta, etc. It's long gone past that, and we are fully cognizant thereof. So some of the partnerships and collaborations that you will hear about it today, and definitely next week, and most certainly as the weeks and the year unfolds, are what it is that we are doing in addressing what affects us the most. We've seen tremendous declining of our economy. We have seen businesses being in dire straits. We have seen communities and really people that were living on breadline, not even knowing and having hope for the future. And all of this, when we start looking at it, there are certain elements that I think collectively, as corporate citizens, and especially citizens of the Free State, can tackle this together. And I think really, colleagues, one of those that I'd like to bring to everybody's attention, it is the vandalism and the pure criminality that we see happening in our communities. A lot of us, if I could ask by show of hands, who have been affected by trying to make a phone call and then you struggling because you cannot get through to the person that you want to speak to, or you're trying to stream something online and you cannot get a great experience. And when we deeply investigate as to what the cause thereof is because some syndicate and some clever, wise person decided to go and vandalize the base stations that service the area where you are. They have gone and broken into themselves, thinking that they are making a living by stealing the very same batteries that are supposed to service the communities that these base stations are supposed to service. These are some of the practicalities that we deal with. Communities are unable to make phone calls to health facilities, hospitals, calling ambulances because there are emergencies. Why? Because the base station that is supposed to service that community has been torched and burnt down to ashes. Now, if we don't tackle these together and we say, we will not move an inch forward. Definitely not as a province, not as a city, and most certainly not as a country. And these are, I think, some of the realities that collectively all of us need to look each other in the eyes and say, how do we address some of these challenges? Because we know the knock-on effect and the spin-offs thereof will definitely get us into a much better economical platform and status that we see ourselves in as a country. So I think for opportunities such as these, and Tate Mokone said, we'll later on get an opportunity to network. Our request, in particular, bringing it closer to home as MTN Free State, is to say, let us make as much noise as possible collectively about all of these, no pun intended, potholes that are standing in our way in order for us to not make this city and this province a better place. Lastly, next week we would also like to urge, we realize that media houses nowadays have got really a whole list of challenges. And it's not only technological, it's not only financial, but I think in just the sustainability of themselves as media houses and media establishments. our commitment to next week is please reach out to us. Let us try and see as MTN how best can we assist you respectively and individually as media houses to continue to drive these positive messages that we would like our people to know about. We've got way too much negativity going on. We've got way too much negativity being spread around. Let us be that voice of change. And through us as MTN wanting to become a technology company, we are asking on yourselves to say, reach out and let us see collectively and collaboratively how can we really take this province and this country forward. With those very few words, we welcome you here to the MTN White House. I think some of you, when you arrived, you saw that we underwent a transformation. We're not a White House anymore. But however, really, we want to become your home away from your home. With these words, I welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mukwena. The province is focused. The work has been done. Our different teams are hard at work. As we speak, there's another team that is sitting at the Ratsal, dealing with the logistics of the Sopa. And yeah, I think the first thing that we need to indicate is that, yes, we have established and confirmed the venue for the Sopa, and the State of the Province address and the official opening of the legislature will be held at the University of the Free State, Vista campus. And the post-SOPA lunch will be held at Dr. Rantlai Petrus Molemela. So when you are allocated accreditation, just make sure that you follow through the guidance that will be given so that you are in a right venue. We will start at 8 o'clock as we normally do. And we expect that members of the Free State Legislature, members of the NCOP, and our delegates, and all other guests, which will include a number of distinguished guests, especially speakers from different provinces, will also arrive at the venue at 8 o'clock in the morning. The Premier and the Speaker will also arrive at 10 to 9 in the morning to join the official proceedings, which will begin outside the venue with the Premier's salute and the hoisting of the flag. And I've been informed that 90% work has been done in arranging the fly past. So we will have the fly past, which is normally conducted by the South African National Defence Force. And at that time, the praise singer will lead the procession into the chamber and allow the Premier to be seated, and the security will be guiding us in the protocol of the Free State Legislature in terms of movement of the people at that time, to ensure that all guests are seated and that all other people who are not supposed to be in the chamber will be allocated in the overflow tent. We are informed that there will also be other tents outside the chamber. One of those tents will include the media tent, which will be used as well as we will allow only 30 media personnel inside the chamber of the house. And I'm sure you will remember that, unlike before, where a cap would be put on the number of the media, we have agreed that using the online registration form, which is on the website, I believe it is closing tomorrow. All those who would have submitted, all media houses who would have submitted online would be allowed at the event using the media tent outside, but making it possible for all of you to be able to interact with your leaders immediately after the sitting, because inside the space is still limited. There will be 5,000 people who will be attending the SOPA, including our team, which is staff, police, security, media, and everybody else. So it's a huge number that requires proper management. There will also be a provision for infrastructure for all media houses who will need infrastructure to help us cover and broadcast the event. We request that all media houses who need to be allocated infrastructure must reach out to me at least by the 25th of February, and if it is possible, some of you be able to visit the venue between those dates of the 25th to the 26th to look at the area in which you will be operating, so that we don't have incidents on the day of the event. The legislature normally appoints official photographers. I know that we've got a lot of photographers who want to take pictures on the day. There are demarcated areas in which official photographers are allowed to take pictures, like in the chamber and outside the chamber within the red carpet, where members will be taking a group photo. Those areas are areas that are demarcated for official photographs. I think it's a norm, so we don't have to struggle about that on the day of the event. We expect that a huge number of media houses will attend the SOPA for obvious reasons. Politically, the environment has changed, and therefore everybody wants to be part of the event. So we call on colleagues to talk to us on time, to use any opportunity that is available, telephonically, email, WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever platform that you need to use to reach us, so that by the time we get to that point, everything is sorted on your side. There will be allocated parking when you arrive at Vista on the right-hand side before you reach the main gate. There will be allocated parking on the right, which the same gate will be used for honorable members, although they will be allocated somewhere closer to the door. An arrangement of generators will be utilized when the need arises. We hope that there won't be any need. And as a norm, the Free State Province normally ensures that the people who form part of the SOPA includes the public, international guests, speakers from different provinces, premiers, MPLs, executive mayors, speakers of municipalities, leaders of churches and church members, people with disability, traditional leaders, business, political parties, especially those which are represented within the Free State Legislature, heads of departments and heads of entities. So those are the people who will form part of the large number of the contingents of our guests. And then the media. That's why I said the list is actually unlimited for the media this time around. There will also be facilities in the media tent, like the screens, the printers, catering, so that it is habitable for our colleagues. And I think that is a long and short, colleagues, of what we're supposed to be doing next week. You have until 12 o'clock tomorrow to submit, those who have not submitted the forms online. So that is a long and short, and thank you very much. I think we can allow for questions if there are. If we don't have questions, colleagues can actually congratulate ourselves in terms of the progress that we have done, and make comments. But what I can promise is that the province is intact. We are ready. The red carpet is going to be rolled. The stage is going to be set. Everything is in order for next week, and leadership will be, available to perform their honorary duties. Thank you very much. Any questions, colleagues?
Good morning, colleagues. I'm Jimmy Mapohosha from Central TV. My questions are obvious. You just gave us the logistic part of the event. But the question becomes, who is going to deliver the stage of the province address? And according to my understanding is that, are we still having the very same MECs who are supposed to be the members of the House? And lastly, are you guys going to call us if there are changes again about either the new incoming premier or the current premier?
Ya pele ntate life ha o ko etsahalo re ske ra bona speakera sa legislature se bua pitsong ena e le bitsitseng ke ka morero kapa le ena o sa hatisitswe ko sena. Ya bobedi ene ke re ke tlo e botsa ke ya mo premier ya motjha hobaneng ke bone re memetswe sebokeng sa boraditaba ke se buelle sa mo premier ka hora ya bobedi 2 o'clock ka jeno mo ke nahanang hore Mema Ntombela o lo itokolla semmuso lo re jwetsa o ya kae jwale no ke sememo se teng se ke qetang ho se fumana nna motho ya registered wa media ka letsatsi lena la lona la Sopa hangata ke bone le kwekwe tla rona batho ba leng mona e leng di local media hoba bana ba bang ha bayo ba se ba mohlomong ha re le tjena re tle re shebe hore na bana ba Central TV ba tseba ho shoota mohlomong ba tle ba kene ka hare a le mong a re nkele dinepe a re neletse re tle re be le puisano ska fumana haholo nna ke itseba ke tshukodiso me leng hore ke tla batla ke shobana le ba bang ka letsatsi leo hobaneng ke batla ho hlahisa diketsahalo jwale ne ke re mongaka a tle a e shebe mohlomong le hore puisano e tle be teng hoba tsela eo ke shootang ka yona hore momamedi le motho ya shebang quality ya rona ya mosebetsi marangrang a se tsela eo ntate Baleseng a rutuweng ho shoota ka yona ka hara legislature o na le nepe tsa legislature re na le nepe tsa rona tsa babui jwale ke ka hone ke re fela ntlheng eo a ke le re dumelleng fela ho hata pela red carpet tsatsing leo ho nka dinepenyana ka hare formal programming ha re no le tshwenya mare dinepe tseo ke dumela mo premier ya motjha o tla feta ho tsona re tle re di fumane ke na ke kopo ya ka fela yo mongaka ke a leboha.
Johnson Kobo from the Business Weekly. My questions are just two. The first one, Kutlule, you mentioned the guests that will be there. So are there any dignitaries from the national who will be present since Nirbabwana frequenting the Free State, monitoring the progress here in our province? And also, what can we expect? Because throughout the years we've been having complaints to service delivery, potholes and so forth. Can we expect that the Premier to address such things in her address?
How are you guys? Colleagues, friends, and everybody present here. I just want to ask two questions. He already touched on the first two in the sense of the incoming Premier. We already know that there's a new Premier coming in. The second question is, will the question that he asked be followed by the same question that asked the question that says, is the executive coming in the same one that we know or don't know? And the third and most important question that I have from my side as Geek Streaming is, you said allocation of about 30 people. Would we be allowed to take questions directly to the executive in the House? Yeah, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Naki Winima Khanya from Yabato FS Productions. Now, my question I'd like to think is quite simple. As Nadine Fries has now opened a group for media, are we going to be informed on when the setup? Can we start going to the university to set up? Will it be the day before? Because I know at times we go there about 4 or 5 times. Hey, how so that we can run cables and everything, because in the morning, on the day, obviously we can't do that. And we get shouted at a lot, but it's not really fault, because we never know when we can go to the actual venue. Set up everything so that we are also just ready for the next day. Thanks.
No, thanks, colleagues. I will start from the last question. I think we do try to improve year in, year out. And I think the application of the online registration is an attempt to prove that we are trying to remove all the barriers that make it difficult for media to participate during the State of the Province address. So yes, of course, as I indicated when I was presenting the briefing notes, that the date of the 25 and the 26 are allocated for all media houses that needs infrastructure to set up to communicate with me, so that I can, guide you as to who you must interact with, because we do have another team which is responsible for technical stuff. So just talk to us so that we register that Yabatu is going to arrive on this day at this time, so that you do not have problems when you arrive. Will you be able to ask questions directly in the House? No. It's never the case. The business of the day is the State of the Province address, and that is the only item on the order paper on the day. You are, however, allowed to interact with the Premier during the post-Sopa media briefing. All of you will be allowed to interact with the Premier despite the color of your accreditation. Do we expect service delivery concerns? We hope not, but you know very well that State of the Province address is a platform on its own, where, normally in South Africa, democracy expresses itself, and people think, let's use this platform to showcase our concerns. However, there are arrangements done by the security to ensure that certain streets are closed so that if there are demonstrations or marches, do not come any closer to the venue, um, and to allow people who are supposed to go and receive memorandums, if the need arise, to go and receive memorandums. And we normally do that through radio announcement. When the government receives invitation or notice that there will be demonstrations or marches or anything of that sort. So yeah, we do not expect there will be such, but we are ready if that happens. Dignitaries, yes, I did indicate there will be dignitaries. Normally, there's also high commissioners. You do have, you know, high commissioners of different countries, especially Lesotho. The closer countries that are here, China, you know that there is very strong ties between South Africa and China, BRICS. So all those dignitaries normally form part of our list. We do intend to host another media briefing a day before Sopa, when the Premier and the Speaker will be undertaking the dry run at the venue, just to look at the final output of the preparations. Nadine will communicate with all media houses in this regard. We consider that as another opportunity for you to interact with the Premier before the State of the Province address. So some of your concerns on that day might be resolved. This question as to who is going to table the SOPA. My answer is always very simple. The Premier will table the SOPA. We will deal with the name later, but the Premier of the Free State will table the SOPA. And currently we do have a Premier. I'm sure all of you know. And we are not aloof. There has been announcements that were made in terms of the looming changes that might happen. We are not politicians or administrators. When those changes happen, we do what we normally do. We set up the stage, politicians take the stage, and they talk to the people. So the speaker never miss media briefings. Yes, the speaker never miss media briefings. But remember, colleagues, this is my function. It is my function. If the speaker is not here, it's still cool. Unless you don't want to interact with me, then it's another issue. But yes, the speaker never misses the media briefings. And I'm sure you will be able to interact with the speaker when we host another media briefing. Local media, I think, let us be honest, colleagues, we always ensure that if needs be, we reduce the list. I'm sure there are colleagues who can attest to this. We will reduce the list of individual media houses to accommodate, to ensure that almost everybody is represented in the list of 30. So there are media houses which always want to force extra numbers to say, no, we are bringing cameramen and this, and then all of a sudden you have 8 people. We will reduce that list so that you only prioritize, people who are supposed to perform certain functions. Writers and stuff like that, we can have those people in the media tent, but to ensure that everybody is involved. We will try to address the issue of the stringent measures which are being applied by protocol during the red carpet photo shoot. We will address those, and I'm sure there will be some arrangement made so that, because the events are not the same. It's not a usual SOPA. We know there's too much interest on this one. So we will ensure that we allow space. Are we going to call the media? As I said, yes, we might have a media briefing before the SOPA. Are there going to be same MECs? I'm sure the Premier can answer that question. As to which MECs are going to be there. As far as we are concerned, all MECs are members of the legislature. They are on our list. They will be attending the SOPA, whether in their capacities as MEC or as merely as MPLs. For us, it is not important. But the Premier will be able to talk to you, and you will know which MECs are those. Thank you.
Well, there you have it, viewers at home. We just heard from Ndate Life Mukoni, which is the Free State Legislature spokesperson, who literally just told us that the SOPA will indeed go on. However, he did not tell us who will be presenting the SOPA. He only said that the Premier will be delivering, and he also said that should there be any changes in terms of who will be the Premier from now until then, he will call another meeting to brief the media in terms of that. Now we invite you to sit back, relax, and join us as we are about to find out what's going to happen.
Central TV.